First and foremost, like start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Bukwa Kwadash. Abundance to the apostles and elders, great millstone who prove well. Citation y'all came out there pushing the truth and sincerity, and to you few sisters that listen in silence, as the scripture say, Shalom. This is Quran from Church Another Light with another lesson. Pray you be edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua. Excuse me. Okay, so, in the beginning, October 7th, with the so-called Hamas attack, and, ever since then, the escalation, which goes back to Matthew the 24th chapter, where it says the rumors of wars, nation against nation. But all these are the beginning of sorrows, And also the scripture said, a few shall draw them out, which is Amalek. But we all know that this, is a part of them ushering in, the New World Order and the MOTB, and it goes back to the Albert Pike letters to Musini, right? But this is a video I recorded from social media, with Israel puffing at the UN. So without any further ado, I'll just play the video.
Are not peace-loving. Despite your obligation to the UN Charter, you are here today to expose what the Charter truly means to you.
Let me see if I can make the image bigger.
You don't really care that the Palestinians are not peace-loving. Despite your obligation, when it comes to the lives of Israelis and Jews, the UN Charter means nothing to you. Nada, kaput. You know what you're doing today? Today you are gutting the Charter. And you are doing it in the wake of the most brutal massacre of my people since the Holocaust. On the ashes of the October 7th massacre. Why? This day will go down in infamy. This is your mirror.
And you can hear the crowd, I guess someone in the audience was like, oh, and it's hysterical, because we know the end of the matter, right? Because the scriptures have already told us that Babylon the Great is going to be ultimately destroyed and to become a desolate wilderness. Not only that, though, Israel shall be destroyed as well, but it will be rebuilt, and you can see why, because the rest of the world is totally against this shit. you know, they you even got CNN, saying like, damn, basically what they're doing over there is wrong. They've massacred over 15,000 children at this point. It's a genocide,
So that you can see exactly what you are inflicting upon the UN Charter with this destructive vote. This is you are shredding the UN Charter with your own hands. Yes, that's what you're doing.
Right. So let me grab a few scriptures. I'm not going to make this video long. Where's I going to go first? Jeremiah 50. Jeremiah 50. And Matter of fact, let me see. I think I made a list. Luke 21, 24. Luke 21, 24. Okay. This is speaking of 70 AD. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. Right? But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land and wrath upon this people. Right? And it's speaking about 70 AD, 68, 70 AD. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled, right? And that was when the southern kingdom left. They fled into the mountains, you know. And so ever since from that time period on forward, our land has been trodden down by the Gentiles. So let me go to Isaiah, the 9th chapter. Actually, Isaiah 1. I don't know why I said the 9th chapter. So like Isaiah 1 and 7. Your country is desolate. Your cities are burnt with fire. Your land, strangers devour it in your presence, and is desolate and overthrown by strangers, because they're not the people. You know, First of all, the Lord said He was going to gather his people and bring them into their own land. And we know that they got there. We call them 1948ers by the uh, Balfour, Declaration. You know, and then through the Treaty of Rome and all of that, they became a city state. For lack of better words. Well, not even for lack of better words, because it is what it is. And let me go to Jeremiah 50 real quick, because ultimately this is what's going to happen. You know, beginning with Babylon the Great. I'm going to start at the 9th chapter. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. And the uttermost north country is Russia. And it says assembly of great nations, and there goes your BRICS nation. The world has three superpowers, being Russia, China, and the U.S. And two of those superpowers are in agreement. You know, they are um, the direct foe of the American dollar and the American order. You know, so for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. And that's what's going on now. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man, none shall return in vain. And those arrows are ICBM missiles, you know, um, supersonic missiles, hypersonic missiles, you know. Um, I'm going to go to 11 verse. Because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O destroyers of my heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifer at grass, and bellow as bulls. Right. And that was Psalms 83 chapter. Let us cut them off from being a nation. And, America has benefited from the downfall of the Israelites. When they first came over here with Christopher Columbus, slaughtering the northern kingdom and then bringing in the southern kingdom via slave ships and having them doing labor, to gain all this riches and wealth, right? The 12th verse, your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the part, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. And this is the hindermost part of the world. You know, those arrows, those missiles are going to make this place a desert, a dry land. Nobody's going to inhabit this land, you know, because of the wrath of Yahweh, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. You know, everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at her plagues. Let's read it in the NLT. Because of Yahweh's anger, Babylon will become a deserted wasteland. All who pass by will be horrified and will gasp at the destruction they see there. You know, it's just gonna be like how it was in the UN when you pulled out that shredder and somebody said, you know, and that's how they're gonna look at this place because this is gonna be a memorial. It's gonna be a wasteland. You know, and okay, I read that part. Okay, it says 14 verse. Put yourselves in array against Babylon, round about all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she has sinned against Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua. And that's what all these nations are gonna do, you know, all of them, because they even their mother, which is Great Britain, you know, the scripture said, Obadiah 1:7, which I'm gonna get it right now. Obadiah 1:7 says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. So all of these nations, even their allies, you know, are going to shoot their missiles at this place ultimately, because it is the vengeance of the Lord. The king's heart is in the hands is in the hand of the Lord, and He will it whichever so way He wanted to go, for lack of better word. Because America likes to puff at its allies. That's why the scriptures say he's more stout than his fellows. Because they proud as hell. You go to other parts of the world, they fucking hate Americans because they're proud. So even their allies and their so-called friends, as well as their enemies, are gonna shoot their missiles ultimately at this place to destroy it. Okay. It said all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound unto thee. There is none understanding in him. And there is no understanding in Esau, man. Point blank, period. Because the same people that they're giving aid to, that signed up for their democracy, is going to say, you know what, these people are full of shit, you know? And ever since we've been dealing with them, we've been in a horrible situation, you know? But you can see why, because everybody's pretty much against, the actions that they're taking, with what's going on right now in the Middle East, you know? And they steady sending aid over there, and they're not even helping. Like, for example, look at Ukraine. Ukraine is fucking destroyed, man. It's over with. The average man over there that's fighting in that war is 40 plus. All the young men have been pretty much obliterated, you know? So with that, man, I pray you edify until next time. Shalom.